Hey everybody, it's Saturday. It is almost 7 o'clock and just figured I'd shoot a few videos for you. Today's topic is going to be something I hear a lot, and I think it kind of trips people up and it kind of gets them to start this work and then stop the work because of what happens. So the topic for today is the pain got worse when I was journaling, right? And that freaks people out. So before we dive into that topic, just going to take a couple of nice breaths. Breathe in the peace. Breathe out the static and noise. Breathe in the confidence. Breathe out the stress. And what's funny is, as I'm sitting here saying, breathe in the peace and breathe out the noise, got that loud, seemingly angry crow behind me screaming. So, kind of funny. So, the pain got worse when I was journaling. Happens so much. And so many people get really put off by that. And then they say, oh my God, this is making me worse. Emotions are dangerous, and so I better stop that, you know? And it can really trip people up because it's very common that when people start this work, they dive straight into the emotional work and okay, if I journal I'll get better, and inevitably they start allowing themselves to dig into the emotions, sometimes about the past, sometimes about the present, and leaves them fairly agitated. And what happens quite often, it's fairly common, I won't say everybody, but quite often, the pain or other symptoms tend to get worse. And so in explaining why this happens, we want to go back to kind of what was going on in the first place. What is TMS? The whole concept is that the brain has learned when we were growing up that certain emotions are not cool, they're not allowed, they're not acceptable, they're scary, dark, dangerous. And I also like to add that they don't fit with our self-image of ourselves. So I don't like being angry, right? I just don't. My dad was an angry asshole, and I vowed a long time ago never to be like him. So as I got angry as an adult and a parent and a marriage and job and commute and money problems, I just pushed it away, right? And so I didn't like being angry, and I resisted that, and that probably started causing my pain, and then it lasted 13 years. So the pain is there to distract us from these overwhelming emotions, right? Yesterday's video I talked about how we bottle them up and they accumulate. When they're close to overflowing or bursting into consciousness, the symptoms come, and the symptoms will distract us from that emotional world, whatever it is that's building up, right? Could be one huge event, or it could be 1,000 little tiny things that piss you off. It still builds into that reservoir of rage. So again, the purpose of TMS is to create a distraction or a diversion from those things that are overwhelming, scary, and dangerous, called emotions. And so it's not unexpected that when you begin to allow yourself to feel these emotions and say, okay, I'm going to rage right, I'm going to get it out on paper, I'm going to really feel this stuff. It shouldn't be a surprise that the brain is still going to try to hold on to its defense strategy, protection mechanism, and basically the pain goes up and up, and the brain goes, stop it, what are you doing? I've believed all my life those emotions are scary, dangerous, dark, and they're like a predator. What are you doing? Why are you feeling that? Stop it. And the pain or the symptoms jumps, right? That's what is going on. And when you realize that that's what's going on, you can kind of smile and chuckle and go, wow. Because guess what? If that happened to you, that's proof of TMS. Because if just a process of allowing yourself to feel emotions changes your symptoms, it's not structural. It's created by the brain. The brain is saying, what are you doing? And if you've heard me talk all the time about, the danger and safety, when you're feeling safe, the pain is down. A couple of days ago, I was talking about state of mind. If you can respond to your pain with a smile and a chuckle and say, hey, I see you. It's okay. I got you. It's hard to be afraid and smiling and laughing at the same time. We just can't do it. And it kind of short circuits the brain a little bit, and it goes, what do I do with this? Actually, I had a really interesting message from somebody, a comment from somebody on that video, that they said, they used to have to take a drive for a certain amount of distance. By the time they would get there, their back would be screaming, just the tension and, nervousness of driving and the trucks on the highway and everything else. And that was like clockwork. Every time they'd take that drive, they'd get there and their back would be screaming. And this person, not as a result of my video, but this person somehow came upon the idea that, okay, I'm going to smile, I'm going to laugh. When I see a big truck, I'm going to just say, you're no big deal, and kind of laugh and completely change your state of mind as a result of the thing that's typically causing us to have symptoms. And what she told me was, by doing so, by changing her state, by laughing and smiling during the drive, her back didn't bother her. It's primarily that whole danger versus safety thing. If you're in danger and you're driving on the highway and you're going, oh my God, I hate this, I hate driving, I'm driving, everybody's moving 70 and I'm getting past and these trucks are around and your brain's going, danger, danger, danger. Since we've got this TMS process in place already, pain's going to go up. As opposed to smiling and laughing, the brain goes, oh, what? You're laughing and smiling. I guess you're not in danger. And the pain's not there. And so try that. Literally try that. Next time you feel agitated, feel the pain going up, feel it spiking, change your state, smile, laugh. And you will inevitably find that it will help you, if not one way, both ways, right? If not reducing the pain, but even if it doesn't reduce the pain, let's say your brain hasn't bought into the fact you're safe yet, even if it doesn't reduce the pain, you're gonna have a better time anyway. You know why? Because you're smiling and laughing. You can either suffer through this stuff and toil and, I hate this, or you can kind of chuckle at it. Be like, whoo, boy, it's kicking my ass today. But laughing and smiling. So when the pain goes up during journaling, it's proof, absolute proof it's TMS. It's this mind-body thing going on. Because again, if just the mere process of thinking and feeling your emotions causes your symptoms to jump, it's TMS, and that's great news. So now what do we do about it? Do we stop journaling? Do we quit with fear and, oh my God, I can't do this, and I was right in the middle of feeling the anger and man, my pain jumped, so anger's dangerous? Well, it depends on how you view it. You can either view it as proof that it's TMS, but if you choose to view it that these emotions are dangerous and I can't ever feel those emotions, so I gotta lock away the anger even more, resist, 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 the distraction's still working perfectly. What I will suggest is that the daily practice that I recommend, that others recommend too, of feeling your emotions, the purpose of that is not to make your pain worse. The purpose of that is to feel these deep, dark, scary emotions, the unpleasant ones, the ones you've been resisting for a long time. And then after you're done, you do the soothing. You calm down, you breathe, you calm your thinking, you get out of the story of those emotions, and you kind of get back to the present world. Notice the safety, maybe do a little gratitude, some deep breathing, get out in nature. And what you've just done, what you've just accomplished is you've given one example to the brain that I can feel these emotions and then I can soothe myself afterwards and I'm still safe and I'm still okay. And then when you go on with your day after your daily practice and you look to have some fun and not really worry too much about the symptoms and not let them get to you. You've proven to your brain that you can handle these emotions, which means the likelihood of automatically repressing them and getting rid of them just went down a notch and a notch and a notch. And each day that you do this, it's a sales job. You are convincing your brain that these emotions are just normal human emotions and that you are in fact safe. And it will eventually get the message and stop trying to distract you with increased symptoms or pains. So that's why it goes up when you journal or when you feel your emotions. Or in some cases, you're not even doing a daily practice, but you just happen to be, living your life and something pisses you off or makes you really sad and the pain jumps. Again, it's the brain going, stop, those emotions are too intense. Get away from them, right? And we can learn to become afraid of our emotions. I'm here to tell you, that's not the approach that's going to work, because if you stay afraid of the emotions, you avoid journaling because of that. I know a lot of people who resist the journaling or the feeling process, and they get lost in watching videos and reading, and Dan, what book should I read next? I watch your videos, and I listen to podcasts, and I do all this stuff, but they never get around to the feeling stuff. And I'll talk to them. They'll hire me for coaching, actually spending money. I say, all right, what's your practice? What have you been doing? I journaled for a while and that didn't work for me, and so I stopped. Or I journal maybe once or twice a week, and that doesn't work for me, and so I don't know where I'm stuck. And so remember, it's kind of consistency. This is a teaching process. It's not a healing process. It's a teaching process. We want to teach ourselves, our brain, that we're actually safe with these emotions. We're safe in our body. Even our thinking is safe. We're not broken physically, emotionally, mentally. There's nothing wrong with us. And if you want to teach yourself that, do you do that for 3 days and then quit and then say that didn't work for me? Or do you do it with consistency? You put the effort in till it becomes effortless. With that commitment, you will get there. And even when it doesn't feel right, still keep doing the things that we know are proven to work. So if you are the type who says, yeah, the journaling made me worse, so I stopped, I'll encourage you to revisit it. Because as unpleasant as emotions can be, resisting them, repressing them is what started this mess in the first place. And so learning to feel your emotions and teaching your brain that I can actually handle this, I'm okay, it's a critical component to getting better. I still believe that soothing is really massively important, so that we can teach our brain that, yeah, I just felt this stuff and now I'm okay afterwards. And then, shift your focus away from the symptoms or pain. Shift your focus away from the stories. I say that often. Get out of story mode. People are like, well, I journaled, but then I was angry all day long. Okay. Again, the daily process is to feel, and then we set that aside, not to repress it, but to go, okay, now I'm going to go about my day. How much fun can I have today? How productive can I be today? How many smiles and laughs can I have? How many connections can I make with other people? How can I live with joy, purpose, and meaning instead of suffering? Right? Really important. So if you're the type who journaling brings up these emotions, then you're stuck in them all day or all week or all month, check and see whether or not you're in story mode. That's often called ruminating. So if the symptoms get worse when you start journaling or feeling your emotions, that's great news. It literally is. Because it means you're on the right track, and now you know for sure it's this mind-body stuff. It's the TMS. It's whatever you want to call it. The stress response. It's proof. And I always say, TMS is the best news ever. I really believe that. Because it means there's a way out. That doesn't require some doctors cutting you open and trying to fix you. And oh, by the way, that surgery rarely works anyway. Especially if the symptoms are caused by this stress response, this mind-body component to living our lives. So I hope you found this useful, helpful. Let me know what you think. Please comment below. I love you guys and gals, and thank you for all your support, and we'll talk soon. See ya.